Hello, my dear friend. Okay, so let's move to the next lesson. I hope you have solved all the quiz questions and now you are very much familiar with the technique of how to calculate squares of those numbers which ends with 25. Now we'll see some application that how we can apply those knowledge uh, to the some interesting and some complex calculations as well, because it's not about only the square, it's all about the calculation, how fast we can calculate. So let's see, if I have a calculation like 225 times 226, so we can see that it is not the 25 square. So I have to calculate, I have to multiply 225 and 226. So what should I do? Should I multiply it traditionally? Should I write it 225 then 226 and calculate it by the lengthy method? Or I can apply some mind and make this calculation easier, and I can see that I can apply the mind and I can make this calculation easier by a very simple technique. Okay, by observing this calculation, I can do it something like this. I can write this 226 as 225 plus 1. Okay, I can write this 226 as 225 plus 1, and this is times 225. Now what I can see that I can multiply this 225 to 225 plus 1 in a way that this 225 will get multiplied to 225 and also it will get multiplied to 1. Okay, because this is a parenthesis. So I'll get 225 square plus 225. Now what I can see that I have to calculate the 225 square and I have to add 225. Now tell me which is easier. Do you find to multiply 225 and 226 easier, or do you find to calculate the square of 225 by an easy method and add 225 to it? I guess this will be the easier method, because we have a technique by which we can calculate the square of 225 easily. So what I can see is that 225 square, and we'll apply the method of calculating the square, this 225. How we'll calculate it? I will observe that this is 25, so the number just before 25 is 2. So what I will do, I will perform two operations on this 2. First I will square it, okay, that will give you 4, and I will half it, so that will give you 1. Okay, so this is my 2, this is the number before 25. 1 I will square it, and once I will divide it by 2, so I will get 1, and this is 4 and this is 1. So in the step 3 what we have done, we have added the result of this 2 steps, that will give you 5. And in the step 4 what I have done, I will multiply this by 10. Okay, so this will give you 50. And then in the step 5 I have taken the square of 25, that is 625. And finally we can join the results of these two steps, and that will give you 50625. So 50,625 would be the result of calculation of the square of 225. Now what I can see that in place of 225 here, I can write the square value 50625. So it will become something like this, 50625 plus 225. And finally you can add these two values. How will you going to add this? First add this 50, first add this 25 to this 25. Okay, so what you can do is you can write it like this something. This is 50,625, plus you have to add this 225, so I can divide it as 225. Okay, now why I'm writing this? Because I'm doing this mentally. I want to calculate this calculation mentally. Okay, this addition has to be done mentally. So I will add this 25 to this 625. It will become 650. Okay, and then I will add this 200. So the calculation becomes a lot easier. So it will become 50,850. So 50,850 will be the multiplication of 225 times 226. Okay, so just imagine if we have gone through the long method, that would be very complex, that would be much more calculative compared to what we have done right now. Okay, so this is how we can apply this method. This is the application of the method that we have learned in the previous lesson. Let's see some more example. For example, 225 times 224. What we need to do is, you can see this 224 can be written as 225 minus 1. So again I can multiply this 225 inside the bracket like this. So what you will get is 225 square minus 225. Okay, so in this time we have to subtract 225 out of the square of 225. So I will calculate the square of 225. Again the same method. See, I am repeating this method again and again, because then only this will stuck to your mind. Okay, so we'll calculate the square of this 225 square. Okay, So first I will decide the number just before 25 is 2. I will take its square and I will half this number. So you'll get 1 and 4. Now we'll add these two results. It will give you 5. Multiply it by 10. You will get 50. And I will take the square of 25. So it will give you 625. Now simply join the results of both these steps and you will get 50625. So in place of 225 square, I can write 50625 and I need to subtract 225 out of it. So simply subtract 25 first. So it will give you 5600 and then subtract 200. So that will give you 5400. Okay, so 50,400 is basically the multiplication of 225 and 625. Okay, let's see some more example. For example, this is 425 times 427. So 425 times 427, again, you can see here, this calculation would be a lot difficult if I go by the standard method. So I have to convert it into something different. So I can write this 425 into 427. This 427 can be written as 425 plus 2. Now I'll multiply inside the parenthesis. What I will get is 425 square plus 425 times 2. Now this 425 you can calculate its square because we know a very interesting shortcut to calculate its square. So this is 425. So what I will do, identify the number just before 25, that is 4. So first square this 4 and then divide this 4 by 2. So it will give you 2 and 16. Add the two results and you will get 16 plus 2, that is 18, and multiply it by 10. So it will give you 180. Now similarly, take the square of this 25. This will give you 625 and this will give you 180625. That is this. You will get the final as this is 180,625. And in place of 425 I can write 180,625. So I have written this number. Okay, and this 425 times 2 will give you 850. Okay, so how I arrived this at 850? Multiply this 4 to this to this 4, it will give you 800, and 25 times 2 will give you 50. So this is 850. So this is 180,625 plus 850. I have to add this value. How will I add this? See, whenever you are going to add these types of values, imagine this 180,625 plus 850 as, you can imagine this calculation as, like this is written as 180,600 plus 800 plus 25 and plus 50. Okay, now the reason I am saying this is because this is a lot easier to calculate whenever you are calculating mentally. So mentally I am thinking that this is written as 600 and this is written as 800. So 600 plus 800 gives you 1400. Okay, so I can directly write this value as 181400. Okay, so in place of the 600 and 800 I have written 1400. That one is get carried away. Okay, and then I will simply add this 50 and this 25 and 50, so that's 75. So I will get the answer as 181475. Adding this 75 to this, so it will give you 181475. So 181,475 will be your answer. Okay, now let's take one more example. Let's say 725 times 723. So 725 times 723, again I can see this calculation becomes a lot difficult if I go on by normal method. So what we'll do is we will convert this calculation into a easy task. So 725 minus 2, this can be the value of 723 because it's mathematics. So in place of 723 I can write 725 minus 2. Now multiply this 725 inside the bracket, you will get 725 square minus 725 times 2. So now you can calculate the square of 725. You know this method, we have learned it I guess 5 times or 5 or 6 times. So this is the 7 and we'll take the square of this 7, will give you 49. We'll take the half of this 7, that's 3.5, and I will add the results to get the 52.5. And then I will multiply it by 10. So let's multiply it by 10 to get 525. Then what is the square of 25? It will give you 625. Now add the results of both these steps. It will give you 525 and 625. So it's like 52500 or 525,000 and 625. Okay, 625. This is the result of this calculation. Now we'll write this result in place of 725. So this will be something like this: 525, 625 in place of 725, minus I have to multiply 725 times 2. So how did I done this calculation mentally? I simply thought that 725 means 700 plus 25. Okay, I thought it mentally, and times 2 I have. So 2 into 7 will give you 14. That's 1400, and 2 into 25 will give you 50. So that's 50. So I mentally added these two values to get 145 and 0. So this is 145 and 0. So now what I have to do is I have to subtract this 145 and 0 out of this 525 and 625. How will you do this mentally? You can see that this 1000, this 1 is at the thousands place, this 5 is at the thousands place. I will subtract them. So I will get 524, 625. Okay. So I can convert this calculation as 524, 625. Okay. So I can subtract this. Since I have subtracted the 1000, I have to subtract 450. So now I will subtract this 4 and the 6 because they are at the same place. They are at hundreds place. So when I subtract this, it will become 5, 2, 4, and 6 minus 4, that is 2. So this is 225, and then minus 50 I have to subtract. So first subtract 25 and then again subtract 25. So at the end you will get the answer as 524 and 175. Okay. So this is the way we can calculate the difficult calculations using some interesting techniques of squaring. And there are other methods as well. There are other calculations as well in which you can apply this. So after getting this type of calculation, a task become a lot easier. So let's see one more example. 625 and 628. How will you calculate this? So again I can write this 628 as 625 plus 3. Okay. Now multiply this 625 inside the bracket like this. So it will give you 625 square plus 625 times 3. Now multiply this. Now we can see that we have got here 625 square. So it's a lot easier for you to calculate the square of 625 since you know a very interesting method. So 625 square. Now the number before 25 is 6. So I will take its square, that gives you 36. And also I will take its half, that is 3. Now I will add the results of both these steps to get 39 and multiply it by 10. So that will give you 390. Now I'll take the square of this 25, which is 625. Now simply join the result of these two steps and you will get 390,625. So 390,625 is the square of 625. I'll write the square here like this. Okay. And the next step is now multiply this 625 times 3. How I did this mentally, how I calculated this mentally. See, I multiplied this 3 by 6, so 6 3s are 18, but 6 is at hundreds place, so it will be 1800. Okay. Now plus I will multiply this 25. I multiply this complete 25 by 3. Okay. So that will give you 75. So 1800 plus 75 comes out to be 1875. Okay, so now I need to add these values. So how will I going to add this? First add 25 out of this to this value. Okay, or directly you can add 75. So this will give you 700. Okay, and then again the simple calculation. See how we can do this. 390,625 plus I can imagine this 1875 as 1800 plus 75. So first add the 75 here. So it will give you 390, and you have seen that this is 625. So just adding 75 will give you 700. Okay. Plus 1800 we have. Now add this 800 out of this 1800 to 700. This will give you 391,500, and plus 1000 you have. Okay, you are left with the 1000. Just add this 1000 to get the value as 392,500. Okay, so this is how you can calculate this calculations mentally. So this is a basic technique. Now make sure you solve the quiz before moving to the next lesson. Thank you.